Before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to 288,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Huge thank you guys for all the support recently. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing a tier list of the best centers in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM, lads. So you're only gonna be looking at primary centers, but like, I don't know of any power forwards anyone's going to really use a center apart from like maybe Jermaine O'Neal, but even at that I really don't think so. There's just too many giants in this game, and the meta really is tall players. The meta for NBA 2K22 MyTEAM is really tall players. So we are going to be doing a tier list right here of the best centers in the game. So first up is Alonzo Mourning, who's going to go B. Zoe's got a wide player build. His player build is pretty nice. His release is meh. Like, it's not slow, it's not fast. It looks terrible though. The upper is cruised. But again, it is still a quick release. He's going to be a good defender. A really good defender, in fact. He's decent height. Definitely best at the power forward position. But I mean, Zoe's okay. Zoe is a perfectly fine card to use in my team. So then we have got Artist Gilmore. So Artist is going one tier higher in A. Artist could end up scraping a spot in S tier, but I like Artist's release in terms of green ability. Like, base 1 is really easy to green. He's 7'2" with a long wingspan, huge player build, giant afro, which makes him feel taller than he is. He's got good defensive stats. Yeah, A tier. Bam, E tier. Bam is woeful. Bam's really bad. This All-Star Bam is terrible. I thought he'd be alright. Like, I really did. When he came out, when his All-Star card came out, I really thought, and I was like, you know what, Bam's gonna be fine. Bam is gonna be a perfectly fine fine card in the game, but the issue with Bam is he's just not good in offense. He's not even incredible on defense. He's not good in offense at all. Alright, so Bill Laimbeer. Look, he's better than Bam. I don't like Bill Laimbeer. Like, as bad as we want to talk about Alonzo Mourning's release, like, Bill Laimbeer's release is disgusting. Bill Laimbeer can't even shoot corner threes. Defensively, they're similar. I mean, Laimbeer is, I mean, he can hit leaners, I guess. He's not much of a shooter. He's a good defender. That's really it. He's not even the greatest on the inside. He is just purely a defender. And as far as dark matters go, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. He might be the worst dark matter in the game. Bill Walton. Now, Bill Walton's going that Laimbeer tier. Like, Bill Walton's fine as well. Again, he's a shooter. Or sorry, he's not a shooter. He's a dribbling center. Like, there was a novelty about him when he first came out, like in March, when he was like one of the first legit point centers in the game. But nah, like, we got so many guys that are centers with like Shifty now that are way better than him. So yeah, he's gonna go into this tier right here, into D tier. David Robinson, I'm gonna go S. I'm gonna go S tier again. This is one of those guys that's just longevity wise is really holding out. David Robinson's really good, man. He's actually really good. Like, he's a tall shooter. His release is fantastic. Movement is solid. Like, movement is solid when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, but like when he does, he's obviously not gonna move at all. But I'm telling you, he's still one of the best centers in the game. And you could argue he's even better at power forward. DeAndre Ayton. Look, I'm going to put DeAndre Ayton in C tier. DeAndre Ayton's not terrible. His release is iffy, but he'll hit when he's wide open. Like, I was greening consistently with his 65 rated Amethyst. His post game is nice. His length is good. He's got like Interceptor. Again, Interceptor's been nerfed the heck out of that. He used to be God tier. Players used to literally like jump from one end of the court to the other with Interceptor, and now people don't catch the ball anyway. But he's gonna see Buggy A. I thought Buggy was gonna be S. The problem is Buggy's got a wide player build, which means he does not move with the ball in his hands. Do we use like quick dribble style? Good release. Sorry, that's great stats and badges. So, yeah, like, just great stats and badges, just kind of everything. He had everything going for him except his size. It's just wide player build, just slower speed so much. You can see it in Shaq. Shaq feels like he's a 75 speed with ball, even with the dribble style. It just is that issue, and that's the reason he's going into A tier. I'm gonna put Mutombo in A tier as well. I really like the game about Mutombo. I think he's like he could potentially get into S tier. The only issue is he doesn't get good block animations, which is weird because you would think that the one thing Mutombo should get good are block animations. I actually don't mind Sesha 17 are very quick. He gets great. He rebounds really well. It's just sometimes he just won't block the ball, which is a little bit annoying because I'm like, surely the one thing the Gambe should always be able to do is block shots. But no, 2K kind of nerfed his shot block animation, so he's not the greatest shot blocker. Dino Raja. Dino A, I guess. You got that freaky long wingspan. He's obviously quite tall, not incredibly tall, like 6'11", so it's perfectly fine height. That 7'11" wingspan just makes him hell in the corners. His jumper is good enough that he'll hit when he's wide open. Not good enough that you can use him as a popper. But Dino's gonna go A. Okay, Dwight. Okay, I gotta put my guys in worthless. I gotta put some guys in worthless here. Bam's the worst player here. I can confidently say Bam is actually the worst player here. Oh no, he's not. He's not you. Sean Bradley might get a tier to himself. He's that bad. Like, people are like, oh yeah, but like Sean Bradley, what else do you expect him to do? He's a 7'6" player. You don't expect those guys to shoot. It's like, well, like if Simvular can shoot and like Yao can shoot and Chris and like all the other 7'3" centers can shoot, except he can't, and he's slower than them all, and he's also got just bad stats on like 23 badges total. He's useless. He's absolutely useless, lads. Especially, and the big reason why he's worthless is he's not like Simvular is like 2000 MT and he's 100 times better than him. Okay, I'm gonna move Bam down. I'm gonna move all of these guys, pretty much all these guys down a tier. Boom, boom. You go down. I'm gonna move him down to C tier. No, I'm gonna keep him B tier. I'm gonna move Buggy down. I like Buggy though. Eddie Curry's gonna go C tier. So Eddie Curry and Buggy came out in the same day, and like I was very, very confident, being like, you know what, I don't care about Buggy. Eddie Curry's gonna be that guy, but Eddie suffers from the same fate as Buggy. He suffers from the fact that he's got the wide player build, which means he can't move with the ball in his hand. So like he's not really a point center. Pretty sure I called him a point center purely because like, well, it was a good title for a video, but he's really not. He's really not in terms of a point center because he struggles dribbling the ball because he moves super slow. And again, that is a little bit of an issue there with Eddie Curry. It's the same issue with Buggy. Buggy does a lot more. Odin. DG. I'm Bill on Beer honestly belongs up a tier. I really like Greg Oden. I'm gonna put him in E tier because I don't think he's as good as DeAndre Ayton. And I also don't like Bill Lambier, but I think D tier is probably fair for him. But Odin has got a really great player build and great. He's basically Mutombo better animations. But I think if he ends up getting like a Dark Matter card with Sesha 17, like he'll just be better than Mutombo. Dwight Howard, B. Dwight Howard's good. Dwight Howard's a really, really good defender. He'll shoot the ball when he's open. That's about it. No, Dwight's a really, really good defender. For that reason, just for defense alone, I'm going to put Dwight Howard in B tier. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the card, but I think I will just put him in B tier for that reason. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon has got to go into A tier. The fact that this guy's 75th anniversary card is legit. I don't know actually what price he's now, but I legit bought mine for 9,000 MT. I bought mine for 9k MT. One of the best purchases I'll make. A fantastic card. Like him 9k versus Sigma at like 30k. Nah, Hakeem's better. Hakeem is better at that value. Then we've got Sigma. Like Sigma's A tier. Sigma's really good though. Like he's not gonna, when Sigma is wide open, he will not miss. You leave Jack Sigma open, the ball is going in. Base 22 on very quick. One of the easiest releases in the game. Hot zones everywhere. And a perfect popper. Maybe the best popper in all of my team. Including KP. Actually, no, sorry. Yao Ming is the best popper in my team. This is probably the second best popper in my team. James Wiseman, a tier lower. Wiseman's going to go B tier. So, like, Wiseman's got a good player build. He's got good animations. The issue is his jump shot's terrible. Like, I can't be the only one who thinks that James Wiseman is a shockingly bad jump shooter. His player build is good enough, though, that he's staying in B tier. Okay. Jared Allen, D tier. Jared Allen's alright, though. Like, No, Jared Allen's way better than John Jayden. Jared Allen's like 6'11", really good player build. Will play lanes well. The only thing is that his jumper is at the kind of level of like JaVale McGee, Amethyst. Like, it's alright. It's base 31, which is good, easy to green, but it's not the greatest jump shot in the world. So, yeah, I'm going to go C tier for him. Jimmy Buckets. I'm going to go B tier for Jimmy Buckets, honestly. You don't want to use him as center. You're going to want to use him power forward. But, like, as far as primary centers go, I think he's a C tier. He's undersized, but he's very usable. As long as you can manipulate matchups, he's fine. Embiid. Embiid is somewhere between B and C. It's like he's not a great shooter. Again, release on normal timing. He's obviously got the height. He's got the wingspan. He's got the length to play those lanes. He's got half interceptor. I don't think he's good as these guys in B, so I'm going to put him in C, but you can argue he's in between. Reem S. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is S tier right now. Like, an unreal card in this game. So, Karl Anthony Towns. This stage of the game, Cat's a C tier center, or a C tier player. Cat was really good when he came out. Like, I thought Cat was like... I actually said the Cat was probably on the level of Joel Embiid. I know they were obviously different positions, but that's kind of the level that I thought Karl Anthony Towns was. His release is meh, but everything else is good. Like, he plays really good defense. He's tall. He can play at the power forward position, which is not as big a deal now as it was when he first came out, because David Robinson and stuff existed. He was D-Rob before D-Rob. That's the best way to describe him. He was D-Rob before D-Rob. Malone. Hey. So this is a collector level reward that 95% of us will never see this year. If you got the Karl Malone, though, you got a card that'll be usable for quite a while. His half badge count isn't the greatest, but his movement, he's got quick dribble style. He moves way better on current than on next gen, but he moves surprisingly well for someone on next gen. Like, normally people with his player build don't move well on next gen, but he actually does move quite well on next gen. So Karl Malone is gonna go into A tier. Kristaps S. No brainer. No question about it. Kristaps Porzingis going into S tier. 7'3", not the greatest wingspan in the world. I think, what's it, like 7'5", 7'6". He's gonna shoot the ball well, and he's gonna be a very solid defender. And also, because of his length, he can kind of deal with the Yao Mings of the world. Like, he's not gonna be undersized if you're coming up against the Yao. So Kristaps in S tier. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. Marcus Gasol. I don't like I'm putting Marcus Gasol in C tier. I don't like this card. I didn't even like this card when he came out. Like, he came out at the start of Season 5. And I remember seeing the card and being like, why would anyone get Marcus Gasol when, like, Pau Gasol is just 7,000 MT and better? Simple as. It was the truth. Okay, so I'm going to fill out these bottom tiers. So I'm going to put Wang Zhizhi as a D tier player. Actually, Wang Zhizhi is an E tier player. Screw that. If Bill Walton's in E tier, Wang Zhizhi is going into E tier as well. Bill Walton's better than John Jayden. You go down one. Bill Walton, you go up. But this might be the most disappointing card in all of my team. Like, he's barely better than the Ruby. Like, barely better than the Ruby card. So, no, like, he's terrible. He's E tier. Okay. So, are there any other really low tier players? I'll put Jokic in D tier. I don't think Jokic is as good as any of these guys because he just doesn't play offense. Or he doesn't play defense. He can move. He's quite fast. I don't like him though. I don't think he's terrible. But I also don't think he's good. Yao Ming. C tier. Like, look, there's another dude named Sim Vular who's basically the same card and he's 1000 MT. So let me just put both these guys in C tier. They could still be cheese balls. I don't think either of them are good cards, or are going to be great cards to use, but they're giants. They don't do much else except be giants. They're both they're both very, well, Sim Vular is not that slow, but Yao is very on the slow side. Sim Vular is on the slow release side. Yao Ming, S. Yao's the damn best. Yao is so freaking good in game. He will shoot the lights. He's the best popper in the game. He's also the best masher in the game. He's tall. He'll play lanes on defense. He's ridiculous at that. I'm telling you, lads. I'm shocked, but Yao Ming is simultaneously the best popper and masher in the game. A brilliant card. Okay, Jokic. I love this card. This card is so hell. I don't care what Ty says. If you're playing this guy power forward, if you're playing this guy center, it does not matter. This guy is freaking hell. He is easily one of the best cards, one of the most slept on cards in the game. He can play defense. He's got an okay player build. His handle is nice. He moves surprisingly well with the ball in his hand, unlike most people that are tall. Because his player build is kind of skinny. His release, set shot 14, is one of the best releases in the game. Dunktober Jokic is one of the, for me, in my opinion, Dunktober Jokic is the best center here on A tier. He's the best player in A tier, is Dunktober Jokic. He doesn't make S tier, but he's the best player in A. Ewing. Now, this is a debate, actually. Dunktober Jokic versus Ewing for the best player in A tier. Ewing is a guy that, he comes with base form quick. His jumper is pretty nice. His defense is really good. He can play at the power forward position. Him versus David Robinson has been a debate. I think Dunktober Jokic versus David Robinson is a debate because I do really, really like Dunktober Jokic. I think he's a really good card. But I'm sticking with my guns with D-Rob. Well, Ewing is a little bit taller, not quite as good movement and shooting wise as Jokic, but also will play better defense. So yeah, we got Ewing here as like an absolute no-brainer A tier player. Then we got Ralph. I'm gonna put Ralph in B. No, I think I'm gonna put Ralph in C, and I'm gonna put Rick Smits in B. I think Rick Smits is better. Screw it, no, I'll put both of them in B. I think in today's game, Yao is just too much reliability. You need that 80 speed, which both of these guys have. Ralph will finish better on the inside. Defensively, they're almost identical. Rebounding wise, I think Ralph will be slightly better. And then you've also got Rick Smits, who's going to be the way better shooter of the two. So yeah, both they're going to go B tier. I'm actually surprised at how much I kind of don't like. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna actually do this. I'm gonna move both of these guys up, and just because of how big a factor height is in this game, I'm gonna move both of these guys up here. Rudy Gobert, he's kind of like Wilt. He's like a slightly worse Wilt. So I'm gonna put Rudy Gobert in C tier. He's not actually terrible. I'm gonna put Wilt in B tier. So if you guys have seen this Wilt Chamberlain card, Rudy Gobert plays quite similarly in game. He's got an ultra long wingspan, a really nice player build, and just an all around just nice player in my team. I think, Rudy Gobert is he's surprisingly not bad. Shaq's just got really bad stamina. I think Wilt is just better purely because Shaq's got no stamina. So yeah, he's gonna go there. And then the most obvious S tier inclusion. Is Shaq the best center in my team? I don't think so. Is he the best power forward in my team? Maybe. I'm actually kind of pleasantly surprised at how not great Shaq is, just because I don't like his way he moves with his player build. I give me David Robinson over Shaq at the power forward position. But I mean, if you want to argue Shaq, I'm not gonna argue against you. But like the center position, I think most people will say Yao over him, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so Shaq is in there at the last S tier spot. Vlade Divac. Look, he's C tier. He's very mid. He's not terrible. He's just mid. He's just so mid. I'm gonna have to move some of these guys down tiers. I really am. So I'm gonna move all 3 of these guys down. He's not worthless. Odin's better than Aiden. Odin's better than Aiden. Or is he? I don't know. Move him down. Screw it. I'm gonna have to just move all of these guys down, and then we're gonna have to move some players down from these tiers. Going down from A tier is gonna be. I'm gonna have to move Rick Smits and Ralph Sampson down, and then from B tier I'm gonna move you guys. They're going right back down when they were there at the start. This tier, Eddie Curry, you. Gasol, I don't like Gasol at all. Rudy Gobert. That's a few more in the lower tiers. And we got Embry. Embry's too little. Man, Embry's too little. He's not a good enough shooter either. Like, he's too little. He's not a good enough shooter. I get it. He can play some defense. He can move a little bit. But is he any better than... Would you rather run him or Eddie Curry? I think most people are going to say Eddie Curry. Wes Unseld. Wes is... He's in that Jimmy mold, in that he's just kind of small at 6'7". But no, Wes can do everything. Wes can literally do everything on the floor. He's just a tiny bit small. A fantastic center. Fantastic ball handler. Like, I don't see there being any real flaws with the card. I really don't. I think he's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Wes Unseld is going to go B tier just purely for his size. Willis Reed and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. I'll actually put Ilgauskas. For some reason, he's tall, but he just doesn't feel like the greatest player in the world. Willis Reed, I'm going to keep in D tier as well. He's a dark matter, so I'll just give him D tier. He's one of the worst dark matters in the game, though. So yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That is the video. That is my tiers of centers. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.